Marty Supreme is based on the life of Marty Reisman, but how accurate is the movie? Let's compare it to the real story. And trust me, it's crazy in different ways. In the movie, Marty lives in Manhattan, and that is true! He even grew up there. And what they left out is exactly his childhood. See, Marty grew up in poverty, but there's actually someone to blame for it, his dad. Because that guy was a gambling addict! He constantly burned through all their savings and never stopped. Yeah, what a great... Would have been better if you subscribed to my channel. Hehe, gotcha. Please do it. Surprisingly, Marty really loved his dad and he never even minded the gambling. And at 9 years old, Marty started learning more about anatomy and God. Well, it sounds good, but it actually deeply scared him. He thought God might just make his heart stop if he did something bad. Oh, Marty, I hate to tell you, but judging by the movie, you're going straight to hell. One day, when he was still 9 years old, he actually saw how a woman had jumped from the top of a building and hit the street. The bad days are gone. And then something changed. After that, he started having panic attacks that would follow him for the rest of his life. That's actually one of the reasons he got addicted to table tennis. It helped him deal with his anxiety. Let's address that intro. Marty Reisman never mentioned that he worked in a shoe store before his career was over. Later, he actually did, but just for a short period of time until, they kicked him out. Wanna know how? One day, he asked for a promotion because he thought he was the best salesman ever. But the owner told him that the other employees hate him and that he's always too late. By the way, the owner wasn't his uncle, like in the movie. There was no family business. He also never mentions that whole pregnant Rachel story. Honestly, I don't think she even existed, because he had his first child at 30 years old. That's after his main career. And even then, he got married 2 years before that kid was born. So, yeah, I didn't like her anyways. You deserve that, bitch! By the way, the plot about Marty trying to sell orange table tennis balls, yeah, that's made up. Now, the Japanese player Endo, who introduced the sponge rubber racket, he's completely real. That is Hiroshi Sato, excuse me for mispronouncing that. And they actually kind of undersell just how important he was for table tennis. That guy single-handedly, fundamentally changed the game forever. Because of his racket, most famous international players were wiped out in the years after the racket became famous. Why? Because of the sponge material, it didn't matter how hard you shot the ball at him. It just absorbed it, and when Sato shot it back, it always had a really weird spin. That's actually what you see Marty struggle with in the movie. That same match happened in real life the same way. Now let's talk about why he hates his mom so much. His parents divorced when he was 10 and he lived with his mom for some time. She never supported him playing table tennis and actively tried to get him to quit. His older brother, who was a boxer, actually beat him up when he came home too late. So Marty moved back in with his gambling dad soon after. But his dad actually supported him very much. And he signed him up for tournaments all the time. That table tennis club in the movie that he's sleeping in? Yeah, it's real. And it was actually called Lawrence. I really like that they included it because it was Marty's favorite club. Oh, now, Marty hitting up that blonde older lady? That's sadly totally made up. And her husband as well. Marty did actually get that revenge game against Sato in Japan, but not under those circumstances. But yes, Marty did indeed win against all odds, and it was an incredibly big event. They played in a big movie theater in Osaka, and about 50,000 people requested tickets. Ooh, and the beef with the table tennis association, that was real. They put Marty in a cheap hotel and he just moved to a luxurious suite and spent a fortune during his week in England. He blackmailed them into paying for it because he said, I'm just not gonna play in those already scheduled matches if you don't pay. And yes, he did also receive the bill later on his way home. What they didn't mention is that the association actually banned him from playing any tournament worldwide because of that. The news went nuts. Marty got the title the Bad Boy of Ping Pong. It took 5 years until that suspension was fully lifted. Oh, and that story about the Harlem Globetrotters, when they traveled around the world and played these funny trickshot games, that was also real, and even most of the tricks that they showed, like when they were playing with pans to the sound of famous songs, they really did that! Like, what the f***, Marty? And the money matches where Marty played bad on purpose and then got a friend to bet money on him to then win it, that was completely real. And Marty has done that often ever since he was a child. What a scammer! But that story about the guys he scammed following him, wanting to beat him up, that was made up. And also, that whole story about the dog and the owner kidnapping Marty and dying, that was just a theory. Oh, fuck, I can't do this. Yeah, and you know his friend that is played by Tyler, the Creator, that should have probably been Douglas Cartland. He was Marty's table tennis partner in many matches. And he wasn't that friendly. Like, one time he forced Marty to keep playing even after his nose was bleeding so bad he was getting dizzy. Yeah, I think that's it. Subscribe to my channel and goodbye, everyone.